Well, hello. We are here, mid-May. I am going to talk about just the beginning of lockpicking for newbies. Put up a little live and throw it in a playlist to point some new people at. We're going to get back into reaching out, trying to get some new pickers involved. And we're always trying to support new pickers, so, excuse me. Why not do this? I could throw it up as a video, but why not throw it up as a live? Maybe someone will stop by. So, picking locks. Well, if you want to pick locks, you're going to need a lock. You're going to need some picks. Best places to go to get yourself some picks to get started. Really, if you're over in the America side, lockpicktools.com. Go to Southern Specialties. It is one of our sponsors, but it's also one of the places I like to get picks. If you're over Europe side, it's probably going to be easier for you to go to Multi-Pick, and you can check out, they've got a lot of beginner sets. A lot of the smaller Sandman sets, I think, are really good for beginning pickers, and they've got some other options. Over at Southern Specialties, they've got starting pick sets from $10 all the way on up, and it's worthwhile. If you're also going to need some locks, I really recommend the Brinks 40mm and the Master Lock 141, fun little sticker, which is their plastic bodied, and the reason these are yellow belt, they are a little easier to kind of pick and learn to pick and consistently pick than what are technically easier locks for like the white belt, and these are a little more crunchy, a little sloppier, a little more inconsistent with their tolerances and how they're made. So I think these are just really the first two locks to start out with. They really are helpful, and we're just going to focus on this one for this little session. Although we will take a look inside the clear just to kind of see what we're talking about. So what you're going to want to get at the very beginning is a hook and a tension tool. I like these two-sided tension tools, which have on the short side, top of the keyway, on the bottom side, or the longer side, it's bottom of the keyway. And what that means is where the pins are touching the key, that's going to be the top side. Where this bottom part's going to touch is the bottom. Now, in the US, we tend to have locks that are set up like that, so we call pins up that way. Over in Europe, they tend to have a lot of locks that are pins down, so you can kind of pick it either way. I took two pins down right away. I'm going to use top of the keyway tension, which is on the bottom of the keyway for me, but it's the term. And I think the best thing to start out with, hey, how are you guys doing? Thanks for stopping by. Just doing a little basics on learning to lockpick. So here is a short, flat hook. I think it's easier than more of a rounded hook, because especially for me it was earlier on, because that round, you're going on a round top on a key pin, and it's easy to kind of keep slipping off. Flat really kind of helped me get on top of the pin and stay there while I was trying to push on things. Well, hello as well. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'm just doing a little lock picking. So what you're doing with this is you're just going through. You can imagine my fingers are the pins. You're going to kind of go in and push on each one. They're going to feel spongy, or they're going to feel stiff. And that one's binding, generally. So that's the one you're going to try to get to click a little bit. And when it does, hopefully you get a little movement or feeling in your cylinder. And then you're going to go back through and try all the other pins again until you find another one that's stiff. And then try popping that one. So I'll try to show you what that looks like with this. So there's my hook. You can see that I'm hitting the pins. Now I'm applying a little bit of pressure, not a super amount, but you can tell if I don't apply pressure, I drop the bar. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on, and keep it on. And when the cylinder gives and moves a little bit, I want to maintain that pressure and follow through. I don't want to let it create too much slack that I drop the bar or I lose tension. So here we are. See, all those are moving. So if I was individually doing those, they're spongy. But then this one right here was stiff. So I'm going to go through, feel these all until I find some more that are stiff. Yep, that one right there. Alright, I got a little more action. So this front pin here. There, that one's set. So as you're doing this, you don't necessarily have to feel the ones you've already done. Tend to remember, hey, I got 3. The last one I have to get is 2. And so you go and try to get that. And you can see there's the cylinder moved. So all those pins flat at the shear line. These ones are the same way on that bottom part. And when you bring them back, together, then things can move up and drop down. So you can't turn the cylinder anymore. That's basically what you're trying to achieve. And we're just going to go through that and do that with a couple of these. Like I said, a very good lock. It's a 4-pin lock. You don't have any security pins. A lot of the times with brinks, you can kind of just go to the back and go 4, 3, 2, 1, but not always, and definitely when they're weathered and get over time, get a little stiff and crunchy, and they'll change it up. Have something pushed down enough. There we go. There's 2. Well, 3 with 2 pins. There's pin 2. And there's pin 1. So nice little open. And that one works just like I was saying. Go to the back. Go 4, 3, 2, 1. Gotta hold tension enough so you don't drop it. But you gotta push tension along enough so you create the next binder. I'm just feeling this. I'm not going to the 4. You can see the weathering on this. This was a love lock bridge, so even if it used to pick that way, it's picking different now. Crunchier pins. So I'm going to release tension, reset it, and start over. Which, when you're trying to figure it out, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do it over and over. Not getting that pin. Yep. That's the one thing that I can kind of give you a tip to really focus on is that first pin is right back there behind where that bar is. So you really sometimes have to kind of come over the top of it to get it to push down enough instead of trying to push at it like that. It really, and often that's what's holding me up when I'm having problems. So I tend to just kind of go back to 1 and hit that again. So, like I said, this is just a little beginner primer. Anyone's looking to get into picking locks. This channel is for Mid-Made Lock Sport, which is a group we founded to support veterans that are into lockpicking and have lockpicking channels, because we think this is a very therapeutic hobby. We have a lot of fun. It's a good community. There's a lot of people supporting each other and each other's achievements and things we're all trying to learn and do within. It's a very vast hobby, so there's a lot to do and a lot to learn and a lot to watch people do and support while they do. So that's what we do around here. Just picking some locks. Like I said, this is another good one. We'll get to these some other day. But we also, if I'm going to be picking these again, I'll lock them back up and get them ready for another little pick session. And then another really easy lock you can get to start out with, as I refer to it as the pretty brinks. I forget what it's officially called. It's laughingly easy. So it's a good confidence booster. It's actually got security pins in it, so it actually can kind of teach you a little bit where that's concerned. I normally pick these with a... And the funny thing is, as you go, and you're picking different locks, different types of locks, you learn different picks. So I use a deeper hook than this normally, and I'm not doing so well with it. Let me try it this way. I gotta get pretty brinks done. So I'm going bottom of the keyway. A 30 thousandths turner and a short flat. There we go. Oh, that is one thing I did want to talk about. So when you're picking, and again, it's not one of those things I'm good at, but it's one of those things people do learn. These little grooves in the keyway are warding. So you see that this one lines up with the pins right there. If I stay in here, I can rest myself on the warding and then use that to leverage the pick. And that's called picking off the warding. Save a lot of effort on your hands. Again, it's not something I'm good at. Maybe if I do it like this. For me, it tends to, I'm already overly heavy with my picking, and I tend to overly crank and bend the crap out of my picks when I do it that way. So anyway, like I said, we're just putting this up, get a little action on this channel, get back to teaching people about lockpicking, and I'm going to start, I'll be doing some, just some small lunchtime lock lives, some lock picking lives for beginning pickers and learning about locks and different pick sets and things like that. So if you guys want to sub us up and check us out, come back by. We would really appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by.